Jerry in Long Island, New York, listening on WWRL. You don't think that racism has anything to do with the shutdown?
No, I don't, because in my opinion, it's not. It's not the color of President Obama's skin, but rather instead, I think it's President Obama's past tendencies to capitulate and to be overly conciliatory to Republicans. That's in part the real driving force behind this shutdown, because Republicans, what they're trying to do is extract social safety net related concessions from Democrats that would otherwise be more difficult to get, like concessions on this issue of Social Security and the chain CPI. And let me tell you how bad the chain CPI would be, because I have a nephew who's severely autistic and relies on Social Security. And the chain CPI would result in stingy Social Security cost of living adjustments, so stingy that the cost of living adjustments would so greatly fail to keep up with the cost of living that both senior citizens and also disabled Social Security beneficiaries, like my extremely autistic nephew, Matthew, he would be chained to a life of poverty over time. And
Jerry, there's a lot of truth to what you say. The fact of the matter is that 2 years ago, the president did capitulate when do you have that clip of Boehner saying I got 95% of everything I wanted? 98. Okay.
And when you look at this final agreement that we came to with the White House, I got 98% of what I wanted. I'm pretty happy.
That was John Boehner talking about the sequester, and that was the deal that came out of the last time that they threatened to blow up the full faith and credit of the United States. So the president gave in, and Boehner got 98% of what he wanted. And I think that Zach's perspective is absolutely spot on, and I encourage you to read his piece before you dismiss it over at thinkprogress.org. I think that your point, Jerry, that the president should not have capitulated 2 years ago. It's just, when you give in to a bully, it empowers the bully. And I'm totally with you. Hans in Vashon, Washington.
Hi, thank you. Ellen Hodgson Brown wrote a book called The Web of Debt.
Yes, I've read it.
About the Federal Reserve.
And her website is webofdebt.com for people who want to track it down. She's brilliant.
The IMF, certain people within the IMF have issued a report that I've posted on the blog. Not today, I'll repost it. It's called the Chicago Plan Revisited. And in that report, they say that public debt could be wiped out by changing the structure of the monetary system. There was a guy who called earlier, and he had a misunderstanding about what the greenback actually was. The greenback was money that Lincoln used to pay for the Civil War. It was money that was actually issued by the U.S. government without the intervention of the private banks, whereas our money today is borrowed from the banks.
Right. Except for our coins, yes.
Except for the coins, which is nothing.
Right.
Even the currency is nothing.
Right.
All the money is basically numbers on computers.
Right. And it is borrowed from the central bank at interest, and that's why the Fed is so mind-bogglingly profitable. It's because the central bank is actually private banks, and we're the government that has the power to actually issue the money directly is borrowing it instead and creating huge profits for the private banks in the course of doing that, making them the flagship of the corporatization of the planet. And really, I think that's the issue to the age. I mean, if the government was really directly issuing the money supply, the banks would recede in power enormously. I think you're absolutely right. And just as another example of how powerful these banks are, and the insanity that they've inflicted on the system. When the Treasury Department issues debt, when the Treasury Department borrows money and issues debt, by the way, we would not want to go to a system where there is no federal debt because the world's economy runs on treasuries. You have to have treasuries out there. The federal debt represents private equity. It's all private equity. It's money that is being saved. And as long as there's a demand for that, then there should be federal debt. Federal debt is a good thing. And money market funds, for example, are based on treasuries, and et cetera. That's a whole other rant. That's Stephanie Kelton, modern monetary theory stuff. But the point is that I was going to make is that when the Fed issues treasuries, for those treasuries to be acquired by when the Treasury Department issues treasuries, for those treasuries to be acquired by the Fed, they have to be purchased via a private bank, one of the 6 big banks, who takes a little skim off the top. I mean, it's like the system is so rigged to favor the banksters. It's mind-boggling. Hans, I think it's an existential threat. I agree. It's right up there with global warming.